Okay, hello everybody. I hope you're all doing well today, 25th of September 2024. One more intermediate English class at the CYC Language Academy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this wonderful project internationally with a lot of people from different countries and different regions, and still mixing up with the um, multicultural data we have. Okay, so it's great to see you all here. In today's class, we're going to continue talking about the topic we were talking about on Monday. Do you remember what it was? Okay, I want to hear you. I just want to make sure you were here on Monday and see what the topic was about, because this week's been very stereotypish thing. So, um, let's see who wants to give me a summary of what we had on Monday. Okay, Nujang, let me hear you.
Hello for everyone. I hope you're doing well. So, here is night, evening, and I want to tell you good evening. I don't know the time your country, dear teacher. So,
Oh, it's morning here.
um,
Hmm,
okay, good morning, teacher.
don't worry.
Yeah. So, in the Monday, we studied about the stereotype, and we know something about the stereotype. That what is the stereotype? We learned about the definition of stereotype, and we watched some video about the stereotype, and we learn more things about the stereotype, and we realize that what is the stereotype. And we learned something about it. For example, we learned that stereotype is it's related to our mind. It's related to our belief that how we think about an specific pupil and his relative and other things. But stereotype wasn't just a negative, but it is negative and also positive. Just it's related to our thinking and to our mind and to our beliefs. So if we have a positive point and positive beliefs, stereotype is good. But if we don't have a good belief,
I lost you there, Nujang. I'm so sorry. You got cut off. Can you repeat the last part, please? I don't know if it's probably my network side in the end of my side of the network, or if it is in the end of your side. But I lost you there. I didn't hear you the last part. Can you? Would you be able to repeat the last bit, please? Okay, I don't think you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you? Maybe put a thumbs up if you can hear me, please.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher, we have your voice.
Okay, so it's okay. So Nujang is the one that can't hear me. Perhaps it's the problem is in her side's network. So anyway, let's continue. Yes, that's an excellent summary of what we saw on Monday. So today we're going to continue talking about stereotypes, and we're going to discuss about how they affect the way other people are affected by these stereotypes in different cultures. So, and how, most important, they interact, and how can we tolerate and be able to understand each other, uh, taking away all the facts that the stereotypes can be negative sometimes. So yeah, Nujan said that stereotypes can be positive. Yeah, they can be positive. But in most ways, and as we know, and sometimes we get mistaken by what woman said sometime, the bias thing. Yeah, it could be negative. So by the end of this class, I hope that you'll start that you're going to write a short essay about how stereotypes shape cross-cultural interactions. Yeah, because on Monday we saw a video and you had to watch a video, but today we're going to write a little essay. Yeah, because we need to practice writing as well. Okay, and we're going to start getting into formal writing. I don't know. I think there are some people here that are also in the advanced class. For these people, they are going to have to just use one essay, and they're going to just write one essay in the most formal way you can. Okay, like saying, for example, I don't know, an academic writing. Yeah, so that's goes for you, Bowman. I don't know if you can hear me. Just put the thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Okay, great. So you already know what a stereotype is. You already know that we cannot be mistaken by something else, and it's also not positive, not negative. We already saw some examples. Let's point out another example for about stereotypes. Like, for example, all Americans love fast food. Uh, do you think all Americans love fast food? It's not necessarily so. So, for example, French, all French people eat croissants, for example. No, they don't eat. No, they usually don't eat croissants themselves. I mean, they're famous because they're from France. So these are kind of like stereotypes that are in our societies, and we think, wow, that's how it should be. So we have to understand that everybody is different in some way. Okay, so of course these aren't always true, but they are common ideas that people hear. Okay, so we've heard about a lot of stereotypes around the world. You've given a lot of examples around the world. In your culture, are there any stereotypes? So that's what I want to hear you. Okay, that's what I want to hear today. I want to listen to you and tell me what kind of stereotypes you have in your society, in your community. Okay, so can anybody share any kind of stereotype? It could be positive, it could be negative, it doesn't matter. We're all here just to give out our points of views. So I just want to know if anybody has um, and stereotypes in your society that you want to share that could become negative, or it could be positive as well. Let's start with Nujang. Okay, she's put her hand up first. So let's hear you, Nujang. Nujang, are you there? I don't seem to be able to hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay.
I want to talk about some stereotype that is in our. Yeah, teacher, can you hear my sound?
Can you hear me? Yeah,
Hello.
I can hear you now. I can hear you, but I think you are a little bit late. So
Sir, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. So excuse me, because our internet is so poor. You know that in Afghanistan the internet is so poor, and we don't have a strong internet.
Don't worry about that.
So
You're not
in
the only
Afghanistan
one.
is stereotype. For example, okay, so in Afghanistan is a stereotype. Somebody think about a stereotype in negative point. For example, in Afghanistan lives lots of relative, lots of ethnicity. For example, Hazara, Tajik, Pashtun, Uzbek, and also in other relatives that lives in Afghanistan. And they speak in a different language. For example, the Pashtun talk in Pashto, also Hazara talk in Hazaragi, and also Uzbek talk in Uzbeki and other languages. But in Afghanistan, for example, Tajik say that you are Hazara, and it is a negative point in a stereotype, and also and Pashto say that you are Uzbek, and it is in a stereotype. And the people has lots of the people illiterate people. You know that in Afghanistan, lots of people are illiterate, and I think illiterate people have very negative points about the stereotype because. They are they don't have knowledge, they don't learn something, they don't go school, university. So, and also in here, I think in Afghanistan especially, than about the stereotype as they think so negative than positive. But we have educated person, but they think about the stereotype a little positive. But but I think then positive thing, the negative thing about the stereotype is Afghanistan more than the positive thing. Thank you, and I hope that you're uh, realize me. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry,
Thank
teacher,
you.
but I couldn't catch your main idea about this question. Can you repeat again that all students or all of my classmates can share their ideas?
Okay, Noria, welcome. So the question was if you can share any stereotype in your culture, in your region, in your country that is common. Yeah, it could be positive, it could be negative. We're here just to give out our points of views. Okay, I hope Noria you have clear what a stereotype is, because we've been talking about this topic since Monday, and yes, it's a very common topic. Usually a little bit uncomfortable to talk about. I know that, but uh, it's necessary to talk. Okay, it's very necessary to give out our points of view. So that was the question, Nori. Are you clear now? Give me a thumbs up, please.
Teacher, sorry for interrupting. You mean stereotype like folklore, epics, modern stories like this, or any other thing, teacher?
No, Samia. We're talking about stereotypes. We're not talking about what's this stories or
Sterio, teacher.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat?
Sterio.
I can't understand you very well.
I spell it, teacher.
Just
Okay, teacher, I say in Persian.
write it down. Write it down in the chat box, okay, Samia? Because my internet isn't good as well. So you have to understand me there as well. I'm so sorry. Oh, Samia says, can you write down the questions? Stereotypes. Okay, Bowman just wrote it down. Okay, stereotypes. That's the what is it? That's the word that we're defining right now. Stereotypes. Okay? Stereotypes. That's how you pronounce it. Okay? I hope you got it. So, okay. We're sharing different stereotypes from your region, from your country. Just to make it clear, let's just remind our friends who weren't on Monday what the stereotypes are, okay? Stereotypes are beliefs of people that people have about a group of people, uh, making them common in that group of people. I don't know how. Okay, let me just explain to you with an example because you might be a little bit confused. For example, when I say, and I'll take again the example of tall people, or no, let me just take another example. What do you think if we have another example? I was looking at for some examples around the world about stereotypes, and I found out there are a lot of stereotypes that we don't even know about. You know, so for example, let me just open my notes here. Hold on. No, it wasn't here. Sorry, I think I just read it and that's all. Okay, so for example, believing that old people, old people, uh, they are all grumpy. You know what grumpy means? Do you know what grumpy means? Grumpy means
No, sir.
grumpy means to be like always annoyed, to be intolerant to anything, to be always bored. You know, and a grumpy person is boring, and it's always angry at everything. Okay, that's being grumpy. So if you see an old person, if you see an old man, for example, you think, oh, he's grumpy, and you don't know him, but in your head there is the idea, the belief that all old people are grumpy. Do you think that's true? Do you think all old people are grumpy? I mean, everyone that is old is grumpy. Do you think that? Okay,
No, I think it is a stereotype, and
that
there will not be all.
exactly, that is an stereotype. Okay, to think, to believe that a group of people is going to have the same characteristics just because you think about it. I said, for example, when I put the example that all French people eat croissants. You know what croissant is? Do you know what a croissant is? No, you don't know what a croissant is? Oh, it's a type of bread. Let me share the screen for you. Okay, just check out in your YouTube. Okay, croissant. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, check out this croissant. They are little breads. Okay, and they are very famous because they are French. Okay, they're from France, the croissants. And anytime you think about you see a French person, you believe that he always eats croissants, and that is not necessarily true because croissants come from France, but not all French people eat them. They're just from there. So that's an stereotype. It's a belief that a person, for example, there is a belief that all girls, every girl in the world, likes pink color. You know, they all the girls love pink. Okay, that's a belief. Okay, everybody has the idea when you see a pink color, you think of a girl. Okay, that's an stereotype. It's a belief that all girls like pink, and it's not always true because not all girls like pink. Some girls really don't like pink. They like other colors, like I don't know, blue or black. Okay, so just to make that point clear about stereotypes, I hope you understood now. We will continue the class because we kind of go back to the class. If you went there, you have to look, you have to watch the class, you have to watch the class in YouTube. Okay, so help me with that. If you didn't see the class, you have to go back and watch it there. Now, obviously, coming late because my internet connection. Oh my god, I see a lot of people that are writing in, I don't know what language that is, but I suppose you're explaining them too. You're explaining all the people that
Teacher,
we're talking about, but it's okay. Don't worry.
the
Tell me,
text
Boma.
that we are wrote in Persian, it's written in Persian language because some students, they have doubt about the stereotypes because I explain in Persian for them. Sorry, I'm so sorry
No,
for
thank you
that.
very much. No, it's great. I know. I need to learn Persian as well. So if any time
You are
you give
welcome.
me a little class of Persian, it's fine. So it's great. Thank you very much, Bowman, for making sure that everyone is going in the right direction. Okay, thank you very much to you. And anyway, we were talking about that we're sharing some stereotypes from your culture, from your country, because yesterday we talked about stereotype. I'm sorry, not yesterday. On Monday, we talked about stereotypes in general. Okay, from all the world, in general, like saying like what I was saying right now. Okay, those ideas that people have. Like for example, if you see a tall person, a tall person, you think he is good at basketball or he plays basketball. Okay, that's in general. Okay, not all tall people are basketball players. No, so that's a stereotype. Now I want you to share the stereotypes about your culture, about your country. For example, who was it? I think it was Samia. I don't know who it was that shared. No Jang, no Jang. It was that she shared about that the stereotypes about people uh, having a lot of people. I mean, in her region, what I heard is that in her region there are plenty of people that are from different cultures and they have different languages, and perhaps there is a kind of stereotype there that we believe that when we hear about Afghanistan, we think they are all the same, and it's not like that. You have many cultures over there, and I believe that it's wonderful over there. So let's hear Sahar. Sahar, can you share any stereotype from your culture?
Yes. Do you have my voice?
Yes, Sahar, we hear you.
Yes. Hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. At first, teacher, I want to say something Nurjan mentioned to you about our country, Afghanistan. That she mentioned that people in Afghanistan has a stereotype looking for each other, like Tajik, Hazara, Uzbek, Pashtun. They have a stereotype looking for each other, but I want to reject her point because people don't have any stereotype with each other. It's politicians that make a
Oh God, I lost you. Sahar, Sahar, I lost you. I don't know what happened. Is it my internet or is it yours?
complex ethnic group and its own.
Oh my God.
You have my voice?
Yeah, I was hearing you very well, and then you just got muted.
Yes, just I thought that it's just
You
I thought
you
that
said
you
something that
think
had
that
to be with politicians. You said that something that had to do with
yeah
politicians, and
they
that's where
they use
you were dead over there in your mic. I don't know what happened. I think it's a
yes
network problem.
yes yes it is politician that they make a noise and they make stereotype between each ethnic in Afghanistan. And in Afghanistan, we have lots of ethnic group, and people of Afghanistan are so religious. and people of Afghanistan are mostly Muslim, and they divided into two categories. One is Sunni group and other is Shia group, and the population of Sunni group is more than Shia group, and people are so religious, and they
People are so religious. Yes, they're so religious, and I can't hear you anymore. Repeat the last part.
or Pashtun say,
Oh God.
say that you are Tajik, it's false. We love each other. We are people of Afghanistan, but we have some problem in religion, and this is the point. And also, one the most stereotype that we have between each others and middle each other's people. Afghanistan has two official language. One is Farsi that is called in Afghanistan Dari, and other is Pashto. And some politicians mechanize between people for the language, and it is the biggest and big stereotype looking for people of Afghanistan is language. That when a Pashtun say in Persian, they are Persian, they are not from Afghanistan. They should leave Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is belong to Pashtuns. And Persians say that we have history, we are here, we are native here, we are originally from here, and that is the best stereotype between people in Afghanistan. And from another hand, we don't have any problem with each other and stereotype generally.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much,
Sure.
Nahar. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, teacher. Just I want to tell something for Miss Sahar. I think she was Sahar. She is Sahar. I think that when everybody has the own thinking in our opinion, but other people, it doesn't permission for her that they should and they should talk
Sorry,
about other person about
Sorry, Nurjan, but we don't have your
person,
voice.
and it is not good. And I think everybody has the owner opinion. It is not the other business that said about our tongue talking.
No, Nurjan, just sorry if you think bad about me. That I want
Okay.
and have no problem with that.
Misunderstand your words.
We love each other.
Yeah, sir, you know about the situation of Afghanistan. All the people of the world knew about the situation of Afghanistan, that what is happening in Afghanistan. The sir knew that all of our people, all of the relatives Hazara are in abroad country, for example, America, European and Australia. We know that it is clear. It is not that you should say it about the people of Afghanistan, the loving people of Afghanistan. All of the people, all of the world knew about the situation of Afghanistan. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold
Yeah,
on.
just I say that we live each other, we love each other, but the politicians
Sahar.
make noise between we us.
Okay.
Just my
Hold
opinion
on.
is
Yeah.
I as a
Hold on.
person,
Hold on. I know. I know
I
all
have
opinions
all
are
my
respected.
people.
I know all opinions are respected, and we're talking about stereotypes. We're not talking about a discussion about politics or religion right now. Okay, we're talking about stereotypes, and yeah, you might say that in the stereo one of the most huge stereotypes Occidental part has about Oriental part, and especially Muslim people are that, for example, when you think about someone who is Muslim, you always think about them with a big, long beard and, those turbans that are white or something like that. Okay, that's a stereotype. And that's what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to everybody to get into the discussion of if we love each other or not. I know there are a lot of conflicts, not only in Afghanistan. There are a lot of conflicts around the world. In my region, there's a lot of conflicts between Peruvian people and Ecuadorian people, and Colombian people as well. And not to say Venezuelan people, and you must know about Venezuela and the news in Venezuela, because they are a country that is very socialist right now, and people are very hungry there. And power. The person that's Maduro, the one that's on power. He's like he doesn't want to get off the power of his seat in as president, and he's making a lot of noise in the world, and all the Venezuelan people are leaving over there, are leaving, and we are having a lot of trouble with Venezuelans because they are used to have everything free. They want everything to be given to them, and when they come to my country, to our countries, they come to my door, to the step of my door, and they're asking, okay, you have to give me food, you have to give me this, you have to give me that, and we're saying no. In our country, we have to work to have food and everything. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem for everybody, really, here, not only in your country. Yeah, there's that problem in our country as well, because there's going to be conflicts in any part of the countries. There are going to be conflicts. Look what happens in Korea, South Korea and North Korea. they, they are united by race, but they're separated by politics. So let's not get into those kind of stereotypes, because they're not stereotypes, they're just conflicts. Okay, we're talking about the stereotypes here. I wanted to hear some examples, like say that when you talk about a Muslim people, when you talk about a Muslim, you think about a man with a huge beard and turbans and that. Okay, also another thing, for example, when you talk about Afghanistan, you think there is a dry desert over there. Okay, there's dry land and everything. I know it's not like that, but they are the stereotypes I was thinking about when I wanted to for you to talk about your stereotypes, your culture. Okay, so let's not get into a conflict. Yeah, and I hope you understand me, because we are like about 20 minutes to finish the class, and I wanted stereotypes. I didn't want you know, uh, politics or religion conflicts. No, we're talking about stereotypes. And you have to remember that the stereotypes are positive or negative. Yes, it could be negative. Yeah, it could be religious. It could be about your characteristics, your physical aspect. Yeah, but not conflict. Let's not get into a conflict. Yeah, because let's leave the conflict for the politicians. Let's leave the conflict for the militaries. Okay, let's leave the conflict for them. We're just human beings that are trying to learn English here. Yeah, are we okay with that? So, Samia, let's hear your thoughts, please, about the stereotypes.
Okay,
Oh God,
okay,
my laptop almost fails, but anyway,
okay.
go on.
Uh, okay, I'm going to tell about some stories about our country. The first one is Afghanistan as a land of continuous war and violence. One common stereotype is that Afghanistan is solely known as a war-torn country. That although war has had significant impacts on our country, but this stereo overlooks its rich culture, history, and values. And also, the next stereo is about Afghanistan, that Afghan people as religious extremists, that all Afghan people are extremists or member of radical group like the Taliban. That in reality, people, ex, uh, many Afghan people extremes and having its victims themselves. And also, there is one other stereo that says Afghan women as oppressed and voiceless. That while Afghan women have faced many challenges in Afghanistan, the stereotype that all Afghan women are voiceless or passive and inaccurate. Many Afghan women have made significant contributions in politics, education, and social fields. That is incorrect, of course, about Afghanistan, teacher.
Thank you very much,
Hello.
Samia. Okay, Freeba, let's hear you. Freeba, are you there? You put your hand up.
Yes, sir. If I want to answer this question, yes, every country, every society, every region, and every family have different stereotypes. And for instance, especially in our country and in our society, our people believe, especially our men believe that Afghanistan uh, uh, has a strong domain, physically has a strong domain. It's just a belief that most of them have this kind of belief. And for instance, another example of our government believe that the girls should be at home and they say, for instance, they don't go to an education center and they should be at home. And it's their belief. So, and for another example, for negative stereotype, I can say if we say for one person, for instance, both, he don't like it or he don't like it, and it's a negative stereotype. And for example, sometimes we say both Ahmad. So he don't like it, and it's a negative stereotype. And another example is we say for a man that you are not a strong man physically, you are weak. It's a negative stereotype, and he don't like it.
Okay, Freeba. Okay, uh, you know, as I said, this is a very delicate topic. Okay, this is a very delicate topic, and what I wanted to it's inside our planification. So, what I wanted you to understand is that yeah, sometimes we're mostly affected by beliefs than by what really happens as human beings. Okay, we as humans, I know should we should be like brother and sister. Yeah, and sometimes we have politicians and all those people in power. They live from the conflicts between countries. You see, and that's a huge problem for everybody. Okay, they don't let us live how we should live. They are there and they are the ones that rule over us, and they are the ones that make the conflict, not we as human beings. We as human beings, we as a people from the region, as we could say, we have a big problem because we do what they say, and we don't have to do that. We have to live our lives as we like it. In biology, we're just animals with the difference that we think. But if we think, let's use those thoughts to be positive, okay? Let's use those thoughts to make good for people. Let's use those thoughts to learn new things, okay? Look, I know I'm very far from over there, from Afghanistan and from Pakistan and from all the countries you're from. But I would love to be there and to experience life you have. Yeah? And the only way I can do it, because physically I can't, but the only way I can do it is through this medium. You see? That's why I asked you to cook. That's why I ask you about your culture and about your customs and traditions, because I want to know a little bit more about you. Okay, so I don't want you to come in a big fight here. I don't want you to come into a conflict. And I know the topic is very, very, very sensitive, very delicate. I know that. But that's why I prepared a video just to finish this, because you already have work for this week. Okay? I prepared a video and I want you to watch one after as well, and I'll send you that as well. It says, can stereotypes ever be good? Can they ever be good? That's the big question. Right now, I'm going to share the video with all of you. So I have to take my camera off and I have to take my mic off as always. And let's start sharing the video now. I just want to look, check out that phrase. You change the world by being yourself. Not what others want you to be, by being yourself. Yoko Ono. I hope you know who Yoko Ono is. If you don't, we'll talk about that later.
In 2007, researchers surveyed over 180 teachers to understand if they held stereotypes about students from 3 racial groups. The results surfaced several negative stereotypes, labeling Black students as aggressive and stubborn, white students as selfish and materialistic, and Asian students as shy and meek. But regardless of the teacher's other biases, the most commonly held opinion was that Asian students were significantly more industrious, intelligent, and gentle than their peers. On the surface, this might seem like a good thing, or at least better than other negative characterizations. But treating this seemingly favorable stereotype as reality can actually cause a surprising amount of harm to those it describes, those it doesn't, and even those who believe it to be true. This image of humble, hardworking Asians is actually well known as the model minority stereotype. Versions of this stereotype emerged in the mid-20th century to describe Chinese Americans. But following World War II, the label became commonly used to claim that Japanese Americans had overcome their mistreatment in U.S. incarceration camps and successfully integrated into American society. Former incarcerees were praised as compliant, diligent, and respectful of authority. In the following decades, model minority became a label for many Asian populations in the US. But the truth behind this story of thriving Asian Americans is much more complicated. During World War II, the US government tried to Americanize incarcerated Japanese Americans. They did this through English language classes, patriotic exercises, and lessons on how to behave in white American society. When incarcerees were released, they were instructed to avoid returning to their own communities and cultural practices, and instead integrate into white society. But after decades of anti-Asian policies and propaganda, white Americans had to be persuaded that Japanese Americans were no longer a threat. So the government organized media coverage to transform the public perception of Japanese Americans from suspected traitors to an American success story. In fact, the phrase model minority was coined by one such article from 1966. But this article, and others like it, didn't just cast Asian Americans as an obedient and respectful model minority. They also criticized so-called problem minorities, primarily Black Americans. Politicians who were threatened by the rising civil rights movement used this rhetoric to discredit Black Americans' demands for justice and equality. They presented a fabricated story of Asian American success to paint struggling Black communities as inferior. This narrative put a wedge between Black and Asian Americans. It erased their shared history of fighting oppression alongside other marginalized groups and pit the two communities against each other. In doing so, the model minority myth also enforced a racial hierarchy, with white Americans on top and everyone else underneath. Certainly, many people who still believe the model minority stereotype, either consciously or unconsciously, might not agree with that idea. But comparing the imagined strengths and weaknesses of racial groups places value on how well those groups meet certain standards, typically standards set by a white majority. In this case, the model minority stereotype suggests that marginalized groups who are compliant, gentle, and respectful of white authority are deserving of tolerance, while groups that challenge the status quo are not. This stereotype also negatively impacts the Asian individuals it describes. According to a psychological phenomenon known as stereotype threat, members of a group often place pressure on their individual actions to avoid encouraging negative group stereotypes. But this phenomenon can occur around seemingly positive stereotypes as well. The pressure associated with living up to impossibly high standards can lead to poor performance. And teachers are less likely to notice when Asian students are struggling. Outside the classroom, social programs catering to Asian communities are frequently overlooked or cut because they're assumed to need less support than other disadvantaged groups. The favorable portrait created by this stereotype can also make it harder to recognize racially motivated violence and discrimination against Asian Americans. And since the stereotype carelessly groups all Asians under the same umbrella, it impacts people with various backgrounds and unique histories of discrimination. So while the model minority label might appear to benefit Asian populations at first, in practice, it works like every other racial stereotype. It reduces a group of people to a one-dimensional image. And that single image hinders our ability to understand the history, struggles, and triumphs of the individuals within that group. Acknowledging and challenging these labels is essential for building coalitions across communities and eliminating harmful stereotypes for good. To learn more about the history of World War II's Japanese American incarceration camps, click on the video on the left, or learn how stereotypes can lead.
Okay, we started with this video on Monday. Do you remember, Boman? Yeah, I think you do. We started watching this video on Monday. We didn't have everything clear yet. Everything clear yet. Now, I hope everything is clear about this topic. So, those examples in the video are very common, okay? And I hope everything is already understood. Yes? So take a moment to think about how stereotypes might shape the way people from different cultures communicate. Do you think that stereotypes might make it harder to understand people from other countries or culture? I think they do. Even inside their own cultures, stereotypes might create conflicts. We're going to finish now this this lesson. Yes, we're going to finish this lesson, and you already have you already have I'm sorry, you already have a homework for the week. So you have to watch the video. You have to watch the video of Monday's lesson so that you can do your homework. And let's not get into conflicts, okay? As Yoko Ono said, and we have to try to be in peace with each other so we can be in peace with ourselves, okay? So that's all for today. And remember to organize everything in your heads, to organize everything. uh, thinking always about positive things. Yes, don't get into conflicts, just don't get into conflicts. That's all I can say. Thank you very much for you to be part of these wonderful lessons. Thank you very much for understanding everything that we have to look into. You know that it's very hard for me to cross culture stuff from my region to your region and from your region to my region. Sometimes beliefs are very much stronger in our hearts and in our heads. But we could free ourselves a little bit. Okay? That's all that I can suggest. Thank you very much and be in peace. Goodbye everybody. Goodbye. It's been a wonderful lesson.
Have a nice
Goodbye,
day.
teacher.
Nice.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye
Have
bye.
a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day to you too. Bye bye.
Bye.